Welcome back to HearthCraft episode number 3. In today's video, we're starting off in the end. Oh, and already. Oh, okay, this is why I am hiding. Already we are doing an end raid, so I'm excited about this. This will be a fun way to start off the video. If you guys are brand new, this is YoMeister238. I usually do building tutorials and whatnot, but this is HearthCraft. For those of you who are brand new to this series, well, it's still pretty new. We're on episode number 3, so check out the other episodes. And if you guys do like this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. But we are also starting off with a new member here. I'm going to start mining some of these quartz fruits. We're starting off with a new member. His name is Hot Pocket, which is the best name ever, by the way, for a Minecraft character. And he's another new member of our server. It's starting to grow pretty well. Some good friends of mine. He's a friend of mine from high school, so he's pretty good at Minecraft. So I'm excited to have him along for the journey. But with that said, that is the intro pretty much complete. Let's go ahead and just begin this episode by hopefully finding an elytra and I forget what they're called, but the big witch hut thingies, the purple towers. Yeah, let's start off like that. Oh my gosh, it's here. It's here. I found one. Oh, it took so long to find this end fortress. Does it have a boat? Because if it doesn't have a boat, then it's pointless. Oh no. Oh no, I'm really hoping there's a boat though. It took me so stinking long to find this, and it doesn't look like there is a boat. Oh man. No, there's no boat. Well, I guess I can still get shulkers and whatever's inside. I'm running low on food and resources, so yeah, let's begin to raid the inside, and I'll show you guys the spoils if I don't die. So let's... Oh, there's no boat. So a little update to our video. We are out of food and we have found this fortress, and originally I thought that I saw a bed. I was wrong. But look, I got full diamond gear now. I've got some other pretty goody stuff, and I've put a lot of my stuff. You don't even see half of it because it's in an ender chest. So I'm gonna keep exploring the end, using coarse fruit as my food source, but I do have a lot of diamond armor, so that is really good, and I'm really happy about that, along with a nice pickaxe, and I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good about this, so it's probably about 3 or 4 hours into the end seeking, but let's continue the journey and find one with a ship and end fortress. I kid you not. 5 hours in and I found it. I actually want to cry right now. That's an elytra. And what other goodies do we got? We got other goodies. That's nice. That's great. I don't care though. I've got an elytra and I am filthy rich. I'm filthy rich. Look at this. I haven't even looted this place too. I'm scared to kind of loot this, but at the same time it doesn't matter because I've got an elytra and I'm so happy. My next clip will be me out of the end, and I'll be, I guess, explaining what this episode will be about. I haven't honestly plotted it out this far. I just thought it'd be fun to do the end, and it was not fun. But we got elytra, so that's a good start to this video. It feels like it's been a really long time since I've recorded that clip, but as I said, I did actually figure out what I was going to be doing for this next episode, which is perfect. I'll be able to explain my plans to you guys for what we're doing, and it's going to be a lot of very redstone heavy stuff. You can see right now I'm collecting some pumpkins and some melons and converting them to seeds, and that is because we're doing a pumpkin and melon farm, which are going to be stationed in our question mark blocks up there. We're going to do a villager farm, which will be stationed up in our Pac-Man, and then I think what we might also do is inside this pipe, and I might have mentioned these farms in my last episode. I don't really remember at this point if I did or not, but I also said that I would be doing a cactus farm where we're going to dig all the way down to bedrock and make a huge cactus farm down there. It's going to take a while. And I've been busy collecting resources, which is good. I've been preparing for this video for a while now, getting a lot of redstone stuff. The farms I'm doing, they're pretty simple, I'm not going to lie. But over here in the shulker box, we've got a bunch of materials, redstone materials and stuff to work on the pumpkin and melon farm. And my villager breeder is going to be a very simple thing. You guys will eventually end up seeing that. Been getting some potatoes for the villagers to get ready to feed them and everything. And yeah, I think it's really cool too. What we're going to do is we're actually going to jump into a time lapse in just a second of me getting a bunch of resources, but we're also going to do a time lapse eventually of me doing a bunch of landscaping. I think what I want to do first though is the pumpkin and melon farm. So let's go ahead and just gather some resources and get ready for this monumental project that we're going to do in this 3rd episode of HearthCraft. And my goodness, have we done a lot of resources. This isn't the extent of it. This is right here. So we got a ton of sand, plus a shulker box full of a bit more sand as well. Over here, we've got a ton of gravel, plus the shulker box full of gravel as well. And that is because when we do the training for the villager part of things, I'm going to need a lot more concrete, a lot of concrete. You can see I've got the dyes in my inventory. And if you guys got a really keen eye, you'll also notice actually that I haven't changed that my inventory slots haven't changed, the durability on my tools and stuff, and that's because I had actually already done the time lapses beforehand. So when I said in that last clip that I was going to jump into the time lapses and get the materials, I actually already had the materials, but that's all right. So I think what we're going to do now, though, is we're going to go ahead and in the shulker box right here, this is, again, my redstone stuff for my pumpkin and melon farm. We're going to grab this and we're going to fly up to here, which I don't currently have an entrance into this. I'll have to do that eventually. But if we land on top, I think I'll have the entrance right here, just like a trapdoor or something. And in here is where we're going to put our pumpkin and melon farm. So we got all the resources. We're going to put pumpkin farm on this side, melon farm on this side. Doesn't really matter which sides they go on. And unfortunately, in my creative testing world, I could only do one farm. I couldn't actually stack them on top of each other, which kind of stinks. But hopefully, since it's going to be always loaded in chunks right here, hopefully what I'm hoping is that since it's right at the base of my base, is what I'm trying to say, that it will always be loaded in, and therefore we'll get tons of pumpkins and melons just over time. It won't be the most efficient, but it will be always loaded in. So with that said, let's go ahead and crack on with beginning to build this farm right here, which I think the first thing we're going to do is get some stone and start putting down a base for all the rails and whatnot. And real quickly, before we crack on with this next part, I do apologize. My microphone has been having problems again because OBS sometimes wants to take the audio from my computer and not from my actual mic. So this next clip will sound a little bit weird along with the sound, but then we got it fixed after that. So I do apologize for that. So now that we got the stone in place, and the reason I actually put the stone down in the first place was because we could have just put the rails on top of this concrete right here. But I wanted to also put in redstone blocks to actually power up our rails, and I didn't want you to be able to see these redstone blocks in the bottom. I'd have to replace the concrete with them, and there are other ways to power our redstone and whatnot, but I just thought this would be a little bit easier. But from there, it's pretty simple. On all the redstone blocks, basically, we'll have powered rails. Oop, put a powered rail right there. And then we're just going to have a minecart track that goes underneath this farm. You guys have probably seen this pumpkin and melon farm more times than you guys care to admit, but that's what we're doing. It's a pretty simple design. I don't know who initially designed it, but I just remember how to build it, or at least sort of remember. So let's get these rails in place though, and then go from there. And with good audio, once again, now that we got that, we'll basically get our hoppers and basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think we'll have a double chest, whoopsie, to collect items right here. Our collection system won't be anything too fancy. It's literally going to be some rails on some hoppers. And I just realized right here we actually want that to be a redstone block with a powered rail like so. And then we'll have, so again, the item collection is just literally going to be these hoppers. We'll have a Minecraft hopper going underneath the dirt, collecting a bunch of melons and pumpkins as well. And then they will have rails that go over these hoppers, so when the minecart goes over these hoppers, it will put the pumpkins and melons down to this chest right here. And then we'll have, fix that with a redstone block as well. And then what will basically happen is it will go through a chain. So the minecart will loop and go around. I think I have one of the minecarts on me here. I'll get a minecart, put a hopper in that right there. And then, yeah. So now what we're going to do is basically put a layer of dirt. This is going to be where the farm actually grows. And since minecart hoppers can collect through farmland, it will collect all my melon and pumpkin drops as it goes around. And each time it does a revolution, it will come back, put all the items into these hoppers. These hoppers will put all my items into this chest right here. So now I actually don't have any dirt on me, so let's go gather some dirt. And now that we're gonna go ahead and finish off the dirt real quick, I got the dirt, and you'll notice above me, there's actually a layer of netherrack, and that's actually just to go ahead and help me when placing in the blocks. I'm gonna make a trail up here real quick, and I actually need to, I hear a zombie somewhere. I don't know where he is, but I hear him. Is he up on the netherrack layer? Oh, there he is. Hello, Mr. Zombie. You want to die? Whatever. I'll light this up eventually. But back to what I was saying. The reason the netherrack is in place is to actually help put in these guys, pistons and observers, because pistons and observers are an absolute pain in the butt to put in. So by doing this, by having this temporary roof of netherrack, it makes it a lot easier for me to go ahead and put in pistons, which Obviously, I just placed it in the wrong spot, so now I got to re-break these real quick. But it makes it a lot easier to place these things in because they're supposed to face downwards. So basically, the way the farm works too is that what happens is you'll have a row of you have pistons that push down and break pumpkins and melons. I'm not the greatest at explaining redstone, by the way. I'm doing my best here. But you'll have a row of pistons, and then you'll have a row of observers facing down on the actual seed of the pumpkin. When a pumpkin grows, it will place the pumpkin under one of these pistons. The observer will detect that, though, and activate the piston, break the pumpkin and melon, so that an item will fall down onto this dirt right here, and then the hopper minecart underneath will actually pick the stuff up. So now I guess it's time to put in all the pistons and all the observers as well. And it's also time to actually mob-proof this a little bit. So if we go over here, I got some glowstone. And the way we're going to mob-proof this farm is by actually putting... Actually, wait a second. I don't think I need to put lighting. Because it's going to be one... What am I saying? I don't need to mob-proof this. I don't need to light this up. I did this in my original world, but I just realized I don't need to do that because it's a one-high space and entities can't spawn on this level, on farmland or seas and stuff. So yeah. Let's go ahead, put in the pistons and the observers now. With the pistons actually now in place, you can hear the minecart running, and that's because I wanted to be able to collect items when I'm breaking them and stuff. But basically what we'll do now is we'll actually begin planting the seeds and placing in the farm. And whoopsie, did not mean to break that piston right there a little bit. But basically on the blocks that the pistons aren't placed on, I'm going to use my hoe, and I'm going to... Oh wait, no, I do need the lighting. Now I remember why I had the lighting. I had the lighting in originally because... Oh, now I'm trapped. Because the lighting is for the pumpkins, because they need lighting to grow. It's not for mobs necessarily. Oopsie, I stopped the minecart. It's to keep the plants growing. Oh my goodness, you guys can tell that I'm not a redstone guy. And that is because I'm not a redstone guy. I'm a builder at heart. But let me go ahead and actually light this stuff up now that I remember why we have that. Oh no, oh no. Oh, this is disaster. Oh. I'm gonna place in the glowstone off camera because this is hurting my head already. I'll be back in 1 second. Now, as I was saying, now that I got that lighting done, what I'll begin doing is I'll actually use my hoe, and I don't have my pumpkin seeds on me. You guys can tell that I'm out of my element when I do redstone. I try my best, but it still hurts me. I can't do it on camera. If I were doing building on camera, that's much easier. That's a different story because I used to do build battle. I trained for that. Anyways, we'll go over here and we'll place our pumpkin down, and we do want it to grow all the way up, so I got a bunch of bone meal on me. I'll do the bone meal until it's all the way up there, and then, oh no, I accidentally placed a torch down, didn't I? Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Break that torch. Okay, now that we got that, we'll have an observer above the pumpkin seed. And I placed the observer in the wrong spot too. Oh my goodness. It's kind of hard to see the hitbox. There we go. Place the observer there. Then if I get my stone, I'll put a stone above the observer. And so now what will happen is every time that particular seed will grow, it will put a redstone impulse through the observer into the stone, and then the stone will trigger this piston, which I can actually put redstone on these pistons. It will trigger the piston will break the pumpkin will go through this system in the hopper into this chest. Basically, big redstone, complicated redstone means big pumpkins for me, lots of pumpkins, and boom babanga, I guess, right? So now I just got to place in all the observers and the plants and grow them up as well. So boom babanga, as I said, which is a really weird thing to say, but I did get the farm done. Oh, and you actually just saw it activate. That was the farm working, I believe. If we go down here now, we should. Oh, and it worked again. I heard it again. We should see. Oh, you see the pumpkin over there? So that means that pumpkin has grown. The observer observed the stem changing, then the piston broke it, and then you could see it disappearing because the minecart hopper underneath has collected it. And then, oh my gosh, we've already got 24 pumpkins. That's pretty good. This thing is actually working. I really want you guys to see in action, though, to see the pumpkin and everything. So I guess I'm going to wait here until that happens. Should I cut? just keep recording, I guess. Oh, and it triggered twice. There we go. You guys saw the pumpkins. They immediately grew, but they were immediately destroyed. And then they're put down here where we get a few more pumpkins as well. Perfect. So I think what we're going to do now that we got this farm, oh, there's one more thing I have to put in place too. Just so that pumpkins don't fall off this side right here, I do put a layer of glass to protect it. So that way you get all our pumpkins and it's 100% efficient. Oh, and excuse my absolutely awful inventory right now. That's just what my inventory looks like when I do projects. It looks terrible. But now what we're going to do is we'll jump into a 7-second time lapse of me doing this melon farm over here and building it on the other side. So yeah, let's do that. And I don't know why it was a 7-second time lapse, but 7 is a good number. So yeah, the time lapse is pretty much done now. Well, now that we got that done, the melon farm, oh, there you go. You can see it's already working because it just activated. But yeah, we're getting a decent amount of melons. And look at this. I'm so proud of this. Already over a stack of pumpkins, and that was about 16 minutes to build that, so that wasn't too bad. 16 minutes for 7 seconds. That's just putting in perspective for you guys. But now that I've created this farm and organized my inventory again, I'll grab this and we'll probably fly on out of here. I didn't even explain why I was building a pumpkin and melon farm. And I mean, it should be pretty obvious for those of you who don't play Minecraft as much, though, you might not know. So the reason I've made and I gotta make an entrance to that eventually. The reason I've made a pumpkin and melon farm is because inside here, inside of Pac-Man over here, I said this in my last episode, we're gonna have a villager farm. And we should have these two guys right here. How are you guys doing? You guys holding up all right? There's no mobs in here to kill you? That's good. So we're going to have a villager farm, a villager trading hall, and all that pretty darn soon, actually, in this episode. That's what I'm going to try to accomplish. And a villager... Let me try to think of how to get out of here a smart way. I don't know, actually. A villager trading farm, a good way to get emeralds and whatnot and that sort of stuff when doing a villager trading farm is pumpkins and melons. Melons and pumpkins you can trade with villagers, and you can get a lot of emeralds, which the emeralds are required in order to trade with your villager trading hall. So that's why I've made the pumpkin and melon farm, is to be able to get a ton of emeralds. Let me put this carpet right back up here so that doesn't trigger you guys, and so I don't forget about it. There we go. Got to keep this thing mob-proofed. Okay, so let's go to bed now. And you can obviously tell my mind's a little bit distracted, but that's just because there's tons of mobs and it's nighttime, and I don't like talking when there's a danger of mobs around me. Now that we're rested up and everything. So yeah, now we're going to crack on with actually doing a lot of terraforming, I believe. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of mobs too. That's, oh my goodness. I'm just going to keep running away from these guys until they burn up and die. Anyways, so now what we're going to do is we're actually going to jump into another time lapse of me doing a ton of building for Pac-Man over here. I still need to get some materials. You can see I only have 44 black dye, and I'm going to be using a ton of black concrete. So I'm thinking what we can do is I'm going to go on a hunt for a bunch of squids, try to get a bunch of black dye, because that is something that is very much needed. And actually, now that we have a pumpkin farm, I don't really need these guys anymore too, or the melons. These were just temporary farms to get me the melon and pumpkin seeds. But yeah, so we're going to jump into a third-person time-lapse of me doing all the building after I get the materials of terraforming for Pac-Man. It's going to look really, really cool. I got some designs that already look amazing. Let's just jump into it. I got to stop talking and jump into it. Well, now that we got all of this done, and you guys can see I did a lot of building. This took me a very long time, but it all turned out so very cool. I'm so excited for it. But now that we've got all that done, the next thing to do is start working on the villager farm, which I've actually got some materials already riled on up right over here. I'll take this shulker box, and I think we're going to try to fly into Pac-Man and get ready to do the villager farm. I will say over here, I got these shulkers right here. This is for another feature redstone project I got. It's probably not going to be on camera. It's literally just a huge mob farm made by Il Mango, and yeah. Oh, and I forgot these. I wanted to mine these on camera for you guys to see how many we get from 3. 8 diamonds isn't the worst. I'll stick those in my Richides chest. Okay, So yeah, what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and go into Pac-Man. And I also want to ask you guys too, because we got these guys right here, all the, I don't remember their names, I think it's like Clyde is the orange one, then there's Blinky, Inky, and Pinky from Pac-Man. And I want to know what your guys' ideas are, what you guys think we could put inside them, because I honestly have no idea. Right now they're just totally hollow, they're just purely decorational, but I want to put some use out of them. I already know that for a good use of these towers over here, we're actually going to turn these into sheep farms. I've been able to create a sheep farm that is thin enough to actually fit in this, and it's stackable too, which is perfect. So I'll turn this into a wool generator, this Pac-Man city. But yeah, with that said, I think we're going to go ahead and fly into Pac-Man and begin working on making a villager breeder. Okay, so here we are with the villagers, and I will say there was actually a YouTuber that I watched to get this idea. There will be a link down to his video in the description. He heavily inspired this design, although I kind of tweaked it a little bit to fit in Pac-Man. But make sure to check out his channel also if you guys haven't already. Or not if you haven't already, because you haven't, but make sure to check him out because he's a really good redstone genius. Anyways, I think what we're going to do is we're going to bring these villagers down, and what we want to try to do right now is get them in a 1x1 space. So I'm going to put the boat down right here, bring that forwards a little bit, then we'll get his friend. These villagers took me so long to get. I do not want these guys to die right now because that would be absolutely awful. And the idea is really just to get them in a 1 wide block space where they can go ahead and breed up a bunch of babies. So I think we're going to enclose them in a rectangle like this, and then get these blocks going across right here. And now I'll tower out a little. Okay, this is looking right. Yeah, and then we'll put this right there. I do have some trap doors so that the babies, basically, over here on this side, I'm gonna have a bunch of beds, which I might as well actually put down now. And the baby villagers, when they're bred, they'll run over the trap doors, thinking that the trap doors are actual ground. They'll fall into a chamber, and then they'll be carried down out the butt of Pac-Man. But for that to happen, we need to have these beds right here on this side for them to want to run to. So I'm going to place these beds down real quickly. Right over here. Okay, and with that done, you can see this is the trapdoors that the babies will actually walk over to try to get to the beds. And right now, I'm about to get the villagers out of their boats because they're in the position we want them to be, except we don't want them to escape. So, and these trapdoors are facing the wrong way, so I'm going to go ahead and actually break these. Right now, they shouldn't be able to hopefully escape if I've done this right. I'm kind of scared. Okay, we'll place these trapdoors down. So now we can put these ones up going like that. I'll have to fix these ones too in just a second. But yeah, so basically the idea is that I'll have a dispenser with some potatoes that go over the heads of these two villagers. And it dispenses potatoes. They end up breeding. They get happy. The baby runs over here, falls down into what will be a water stream. Then we'll fall through that hole. So I'm going to skip forward just a little bit to when we get this section of the build done. And now a bit more has been set up so you guys can see what I was talking about. It's very crude, but basically in this dropper, I'll put a bunch of potatoes. I'll activate this, and you guys can hear the dispenser or the dropper dropping potatoes. It will feed these guys. These guys will breed. Baby pops out. Baby comes over, runs over the trapdoors because he's stupid, and then he falls into this water chamber, which will drop him down here, and ultimately up into this hole down there, which will lead to our villager breeders. So now I guess the next part would be to make a little bit of a tunnel that comes down to about yay high. Yeah, I gotta jump over and get a little bit more space. There we go. So now, ooh, and I don't want to destroy that block. Whoopsie. Looks like it's nighttime outside too. I gotta be careful now. There we go. Says that as I almost fall out the window. Okay, so now that we got that, the villager will fall into this hole, the baby villager, and we'll have a water source behind right here that ends up pushing him forwards. So we'll have it right there. You guys will see what I'm talking about. It's, again, very crude setup, very crude. Bobert Pickle, he's a YouTuber that I watch. He actually has a fully automatic, very compact farm. Super genius. But this is what I needed for my purposes, and this was the best I could do on my own. So there we go. Now that we got that, we will have a dark oak sign right here, and then we'll have water right behind there, and basically the baby villager will now fall into that. If we go ahead and fly on up, which I found out that if you fly up, you actually don't get hurt if you look up at the ceiling for some reason. Okay, so baby will fall into here, he'll get pushed down right into here, and then he'll get pushed forwards right down there. Oops, and I fell out. Did not actually mean to fall out of Pac-Man. I might as well sleep though since it's nighttime. But yeah, so that's a concept, and we'll keep working from there. And then I'll give you another bit of a progress update as we get a bit more accomplished. Okay, nice. So now that we have it set, the baby will end up falling down here. We want to have some water to protect the baby when it comes down, because we don't want it to die. That would not be good. But basically, oops, let's place this sign where it's supposed to go. There we go. So basically the baby will fall down. He'll fall into this, and I'm going to dig a little bit of a hole down here that goes down just a ways. Nice. Now that we got that, the baby will either fall into this or he'll fall into this water stream, which this is going to be where the water stream goes, so that when the baby grows up, he'll be able to... When he grows up, so only babies will be able to fit here because it's going to be a 1-block hole, but basically the babies will be stored down here until they grow up, and then we'll have a water source above us, which I obviously did not make this low enough, but we'll have a water source above us so that when the baby grows up, it will go down. We'll go that way, and it will go into a hole that I'll have. Very confusing, but it will work. I'm just going to go ahead and build it up and get to the spot where the villagers will end up falling into the trading hall. And at this point, I realized I was super short on time with the video, so I just kind of finished stuff, but let's present it. And with the time running out, I didn't finish the whole thing, unfortunately. I'll probably finish it in the next episode, but we do not have much time at all. So this is going to be the concept. The villagers will basically fall from this hole. This is where the water trail will lead, and I'll eventually tidy this up, make it look nicer. All of this will look a lot nicer, and probably I might even go through some design variations. But basically, we'll be able to put the villagers in here, and we'll be able to put their workstation right there. I'll probably have, in my shulker box over here, I should have, or in my inventory, I'll probably have trapdoors like right there so that the villagers can't actually escape. They'll be stationed right here after I move them manually. And more likely the trapdoors will be placed like that so I can walk in a little bit easier. But yeah, and then I'll have their workstations there. This will be my villager trading hall. So yeah, I hate to rush things because, you know, I want to do so much more. But unfortunately, there's not enough time in the world, and I have to end this video a little bit early. I really hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, especially when I do projects as insane as this one. This one took a lot of work. I know these guys right here might not look like it might have taken a lot, but oh, there's a creeper right there. Oh, and he blew up. Oh gosh dang. Whatever, I gotta go to bed. Gotta go to bed. Go, go, go. But yeah, it's a tremendous amount of work. I was grinding like non-stop these past couple days. So this past week, really. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy my life, enjoy Minecraft, and I'll see you in my next video coming out this upcoming Monday, I think. So, I'll see you guys then. Ciao.